Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So I was having real troubles thinking of how to use the 90s kit in a way I haven't used it before, and then it came to me. So if you want to see what I did, then just keep watching. Alright, so I don't know about you, but in the 90s I covered everything. Every one of my school books was covered and decorated, and they were all decorated exactly the same way, as in the same theme. So I had one year, and this is pathetic, but I did, where I covered all of my school books with denim, like actual real denim from Spotlight. I remember going in and buying it, and it was a pain in the butt. It took me so long, and it didn't help the books, but I was so proud of it. So what I thought I'd do is I'm going to grab this. This is a Nati Planning TN insert. I'm going to cover this, and we're going to decorate it, and I'm going to make a notebook elastic. I'm gonna upcycle my kikki.K one and make it's like a choker net. I'm just gonna decorate it, you'll see. So I'm so excited I can't talk. So what we're gonna do first is just is just cover this. So I'm gonna do it with brown paper because I used to do this at school a lot. So this is just plain brown paper. Pretty sure I got it from Officeworks, but I can't remember, but you guys would have seen this about a bazillion times by now. I'm not going to cut this particularly perfectly. I'm not going to get the trimmer out or anything. I'm just going to give it like 5 centimeters the whole way around. And the only thing I'm going to do differently than when I would wrap it at school is I'm actually going to use glue tape and not sticky tape, which is what I used to do, and then I'd get bubbles and it was just a pain in the bum. We'll see if we can roll it the other way and get it to sit still. That didn't really help. Let's see if we can think of something else. I'm going to put my phone on one side and my mouse on the other side, and that could help sit it down at least a little bit. So this isn't going to be, like I said, not going to be particularly fancy special or anything like that. So all I'm going to do is just stick this down. I'm going to stick it down with glue tape. So I'm going to put glue tape all around the outside of this, and that way, all across all of it, and that way it'll stick, and then we can do the, folding up of it. Oh, this is really scary doing it on a Nati Planning TN insert. And of course I'd run out of glue there. Thankfully I have spares. So I'm going to cover the whole of this thing in glue. Could do this with just like normal glue stick. Maybe that's what I used to do. I don't really think I used to do it with sticky tape. Just find the middle. I'm obviously being careful of the fact that this is now sticky, so I just want to make sure it's at least mildly in the right spot. It doesn't matter if it's not straight, because you're not going to really pay much attention to the outside of the book. Go. Making sure that's stuck, and then we'll do the same thing with the front. Fold that over. So I always find when you're doing notebooks, and this goes for when you're using contact as well, if you sort of push it into the spine a little bit, you get a much better adhesion sort of around the spine. And again, this isn't straight, we can fix that afterwards. And if you want to be a crazy person, which we know I am, I'm just going to run my ruler along here. All it does is get out anything like air bubbles that might be stuck there. You can still see through. I think that's always been kind of the appeal of using brown paper, is that you can kind of see through. I kind of like, especially with something like Nati Planning covers, you can see straight through to the beautiful dots that are on the front anyway. So I'm just straightening these edges up. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just making sure they're a little bit better. And then however you want to do this is up to you. I generally like to sort of cut them. I don't like doing them in a straight, because to me they're never actually right anyway. So I sort of, this one might be a straight across, but I always find that you just sort of have to angle them depending on where they're at. So fold that up, and we'll go ahead and stick all this down. So I'm going to do this a bit fast because this is the easy part, and I'll be right back. decorate this with stickers and die cuts and, you know, the crazy bit. But the other part I want to do, so this is actually, it's the notebook elastic that I got with the, I think it was the Diary Lovers gift last month. I'm just making sure I'm not going to cut it because that would be funny. I think this will fit really nicely around the outside, and all it's going to do, so do you remember in the 90s we had those chokers, and I'll try and get Ryan to put up a picture of one, but we had those chokers that just, they were awful, but everybody wore them. So I thought it would be cool to kind of have like a choker, like if you think of the notebook elastic as a choker. Well, it's a little bit small, as in the book's a bit small. I don't think I want to go that way because that's it's going to bend it. Actually, it's not too bad. We'll just go that way instead. So I'm just going to stick on. I'm going to grab some of the die cuts and I'm going to actually, and then you can put the pen. Oh, hold on. There's an idea. Let's grab it. We can put the pen in here as well. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so cool. The only thing I don't like about this is if you put it that way, the pen actually doesn't kind of make sense, does it? I don't know. I'll think of something. I still want to put the stuff on the notebook elastic. So what we're going to do is grab some of the die cuts. So I'm just jumping into the kit and grabbing some of them out. So I'm going to decide which ones I want to put where from the, like on the front. So you just can't. We just can't not put that on there because that just has to go there. And then which ones do we want to put on the notebook cover? So if we're going to go that way, we'll cover up the kikki.K. So we'll put My Bad. Part of me wants to put the 10 pen, but that's just silly. We'll put that on the back of the book. I'm gonna grab. Oh. Okay, so these are things I'm gonna send through the laminator. So we're gonna put My Bad, The Best Friends. We're gonna put the 2 stars. We're gonna put the roller skates. We're gonna put the roller skates, and we're gonna put the boombox. We're gonna put the boombox. So I'm gonna send those ones through the laminator, not that one, really quickly, and then we'll cut them out and then attach them to the notebook elastic with some hot glue. While those two are heating up, I know you guys can probably still hear the ticking of the laminator while we do this, but this is a little tip I've got for when you're only laminating a little bit, which is actually cut off some so that you don't send through a whole laminating sheet just for the sake of these couple of images. It's not worth wasting them. It's really easy to get these guys to stick together. Like, they're pretty static anyway. They do stick together really nicely, so don't waste your whole laminating sheet doing this. Just use a little bit. So I've sent them through. I've got my couple of images. So I'm just going to cut these out by hand. Nothing too fancy for any of them. I'm just basically going around the outside, trying to work with the bubbles. So making sure I don't hit the bubbles anywhere around the outside. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Oh, and I'm going to try my new scissors and see if they work. So I've got them all cut out, but I'm not going to put my scissors away yet. I want to cut this in half and actually use it as a bit of like a charm in the actual notebook. But I want it to deliberately be able to sit back together again. So what I might have to do is send it back through the laminator. Oh, I love this. This is so good. I'm just sitting here seriously going through like all these things in my head, like that was 90s. Like we didn't get a lot of 90s TV because we lived in the country and we had one TV channel. So like I remember Friends, but that was basically the only thing I remember. Like I had to get, my grandma used to record Dawson's Creek for me on her VCR, or a tape player as we used to call it, and post them down to me. Yeah, that was sad, but it was awesome. So see now that, and it's not going to have to go back through the laminator, I don't think. I think it'll be fine. The only thing I am going to do is just round off this really sharp edge at the bottom, and it'll stick back together again. It's so cool. But I'll put that on some string and I'll show you how we're going to do that afterwards. So while we've been doing that, my glue gun has been over here, you know, dripping a little bit. So I'm just going to wipe off that bit. So we're going to grab, now we've got to work out which way this is going to go, because if we're going to put it this way, it is going to be loose. It's still going to fit, but it's going to be a bit on the loose side. Or do we go that way and then it's sort of a bit tighter? I'm just going to do it my way, and I'm just going to go this way. I'd rather it sit around like that. It looks more like a choker. The pen goes the right way. It's not designed to hold it closed anyway. It's just designed to sit on, like mine. I just designed to sit on there. And if I really wanted to, I could grab like a clip like this if I really did want it to sort of hold down. Just get it to sit like that, and that'll hold it, but it'll work. So we'll go that way. So because of that, I'm gonna have it sit sort of there-ish so that the pen sits right off to the side. So here I'm gonna put the boombox there. And I'm trying. The only thing is that we've kind of, the boombox is a little bit big, so it, maybe do 2 stars instead. Let's do that. And then I can put the My Bad somewhere else. Keeping in mind too, I really want that composition book thing to be here, so it'll probably sit at the bottom as opposed to the top. Still looks awesome. My glue gun is just completely spitting stuff everywhere. So I don't want to do this on the book because I don't want to accidentally make a mess. So I'm just going to put some glue on here. Oops, just a little bit. I'll tidy that up in a sec. And then we'll just stick this down on top. And a really good, like, this one's really good, this particular notebook band, because this bit here is actually really solid. So it sort of helps you to be able to push it down. So that's on. Might have to sort of put some clips or something on the others, but we'll get to that in a sec. So my glue stick is just a bit nearly empty, so I'm just pushing that down to get the glue to come out, because when I squeeze it's not doing anything. I'm just making sure still that that sits where I want it to. I'll just put that down. Oh, that's hot. I know that's the point, but oh, that's hot. And put a little bit more on there. I don't get the glue gun out a lot on my channel, do I? It's cool to do something different. And this is why, because I get it all over me. Go that way. I'll get rid of all the spider webs in a sec. So, we'll leave that off to the side to kind of dry off, cool off. Get rid of all the spider webs, turn off the glue gun, and then we can get to decorating the notebook and also doing this. So, what I thought I'd do is make like a bookmark, but not. I don't know if that makes any sense. It will eventually. And sort of just string some of these really cute. These are from Kmart. String them up like on a bookmark with the 3 of them. I'm just trying to think. I want to use all 3 of the colours because I think it looks really awesome. I've done it making a tassel before and it worked really nicely. So I'm just thinking. By the way, scissors are great. They're just like my old ones. So I'm just grabbing the 3, and I didn't measure them against each other, so they're probably going to be the different widths, different lengths, but that's all right. And And these colours are just so 90s too. I love it. But one sits on the outside and then one sits on the inside. So I'm just grabbing a pokey tool and I just want it to be able to get through that kind of where the string actually is, or where the chain would go. I'm just pushing that all the way through because I want that to be a fairly decent sized hole. So you can sort of see it there, I think. So do that for both sides. So something that I like to do when I've sort of poked a hole in something, I just cut a little bit on, just to kind of allow the paper to get squashed. And I just sort of push it down, just so it sort of sits a bit flatter on the back. I hate when it sits up, it just drives me nuts. So just by giving it a bit of space, especially when it's been laminated, it's got plastic, so it's going to sit up anyway. So just kind of do that, and then you can push it down with the blade. It kind of shuts the hole a little bit, but it makes it sit flat, which is kind of the point of it. My point of it anyway. So then, can I get all three of them through? So my little tricky way, which I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to give it a shot. I grab washi tape, especially when I've got more string than I need to have. Stick that down and then kind of roll it up so that the end is a bit more solid. And then I find it easy to be able to poke it through the hole. And sort of, it's a bit hard to do because obviously the washi tape is sticky, and obviously the tighter you can do it, the easier it gets, or the easier it is. Definitely one of those things that a set of tweezers sometimes helps because you can grab hold of it. But just be careful, especially with this kind of paper stuff. Sometimes it can tear, so I'm just trying not to ruin it. It's coming through, it's just very slow. I am trying to stick something rather large through a very small hole, so that doesn't help. So I've got that on. I'm just going to tie it up like a charm at the top, so you can just cut off the washi. I'm actually going to leave it there and use that for the other side, because then I only have to do that once. So we'll put that for the other side. I'm going to go in the other way so that it'll hang naturally like that, I think. So because we went through that, I'm not sure if it'll work, but we'll give it a go. Through there too, so I'm just going to cut off that washi bit. So I'll just tie it up just like that. So it'll be a little bit of a tassel on the top, but that's alright. Let's see if I can do this. If you have too much, this is the benefit of having more than you need. You can actually give yourself that ability to tie it up. I have real issues doing it with small amounts of string, so this way is a little bit easier. It's hard with 3 bits, or 6 in this case, is bits of string. I know what I'm trying to do. I don't know if I can do it. So there we go. I just did the knot round one bit rather than both, and that just made that a little bit easier. So I'm going to trim that off in a sec, but I'll just make sure I've got the length of it right first. So we put it like that. Sits over the top, so I want it to sit, so it sits out like that. The inside needs to sit about sort of there-ish, so we'll pull that up. And the cool thing is over time this will all twist, so it'll look really cool. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to trim a little bit of this off so I don't have so much to work with. I'll just do the exact same thing. That one was a lot easier. So because that knot's only on one side, you can kind of pull it down a little bit, makes it a little bit easier, and then you just pull it tight to get it to sit. And there we have a cute little, it's just like a page marker, it's nothing more than that, but it's just kind of cool. And then if you think about it, like when you open it up, then you can sort of put them back together again. I love that, it's so cool. So I'm just going to trim the edges off, just so that this edge isn't quite so long. You could leave it if you wanted. Bang. Whoops. New scissors. Never quite as good as the old ones, but not bad. So there we go. We've got the little bookmark. So we've got our little band, which has actually worked out really nicely. That's really cool. And they're stuck solid, so that's excellent. So let's get a little bit of decorating done. So we'll grab the glue tape again. Oh no, ran out of glue tape on that one too. Oh no, that was the old one anyway, never mind. I was going to say I couldn't be unlucky enough to run out of glue tape twice in one video. That would just be silly. So I'll put that. Oh my god, that's so cool. Now I'm going to grab some stickers. This would be really cool too, and I'm not going to do it only because I know this video has already been going for heaps long. Oh my god, I'm so in the 90s right now. For far too long anyway. You could grab the stamps and like stamp it out. That would actually look really cool, like on the back. I'm going to grab... Oh, so I want to use those. So I'm going to grab a totally and a whatever on the front. Oh, this is fun. I'm going to grab... Damn, now I really want to use the stamps. I don't have time. I think on the back, I'm actually going to make a bit of a feature of the roller skating girl and actually have her in the background, like on the back. And then put these stars around her because it looks really cool the way it's even set out on the sheet. Whoops, just realised I put them the way I did. Can I get them off? I'm not getting the undo out today, I'm just not. Brown paper is always very unforgiving as well. Ooh, might be lucky. They're going to be the same. It's either going to be at the top or at the sides. I've just realised that there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, did all that for nothing. Anyway, doesn't matter. And I think I'll just put let's do that instead. Because I haven't 100% put that down yet. I'm just going to grab this one here that just says, my bad. Oh, hold on, what have we... No, we didn't use it. So we'll put my bad down in the corner, which is perfect for that, really, isn't it? Then, we'll grab a couple of these pens, one of the 10 pens, and put that up the top as well. So I don't know about you guys, but what I used to do, I'm also going to use some of the minis, because they're just super cute. I used to have a TV Hits magazine. Please tell me someone else had that. Or Smash Hits magazine as well. And I used to cut everything out of there and put, like they were I reckon, honest to goodness, every single thing I had a TV Hits cover on it. It just did. I just pulled it all apart. And we'll grab the little dancing mini at the top, and then back here I'm going to put those stars down on the front just so that I use them. And then on the back I'm going to grab this cute little mini as well. You can sit up in the corner. Oh, so I think I'm going to hang it up there. I've got enough, I think, that's 90s on there, and then that's going to sit on the bottom. So we'll put that on too. Like I said, it is a little bit too big, but that's okay. Pen sits in the back. Kind of pushes that up, but that's alright. Kind of pushes up the boombox just a little bit, but nothing too massive. And then we've got our little bookmark too, which will sit on the inside. So obviously at the moment I'm just chucking it in the middle, but it can go anywhere. It'll hang out on the outside, and then when you put it together, it'll have its beautiful best friends. Oh, I love that. I think that's come together really well. It's just a cool way to jazz up a notebook. And the more I thought about 90s and what did I do in the 90s, this is what I did. I decorated my books. This was my craft because crafting was so uncool. So I used to craft this way. I used to decorate my books and everyone thought it was awesome. So for 10 minutes at the start of each year, I was really exciting for everybody because I wanted to see how I did my books up. But yeah, then it would fade and I'd go back to being the boring one. But that's okay. It's okay. So I had an idea. Instead of putting the notebook elastic or the planner band around the actual notebook, You could really put it around the outside of your TN as well, and that would keep it all together, and that way it's a little bit more stretchy. So there is 2 ways to do it. I've obviously got mine on my book lover, which doesn't look the best, but it is an extra way that you could do it. So keep that in mind as well. So let me know what you guys think. Did you guys used to decorate your books too? I'd so love to know. Please leave it down below and let me know if you did. You can follow me on all of my socials as well. I'd love to hear from you there too. Let me know too how you're going to use this 90s kit. This would be a great way actually to use the digital kit, which I haven't got my hands on yet, but would be absolutely awesome for this kind of thing, for printing them out. You can just cut them out and stick them down. Such a good way to do it. So let me know if you thought you might do that as well. Don't forget to be subscribed and follow me for all other Planners Anonymous kind of projects. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!